But these are my distance ones. These are because I'm short-sighted, so these are for that. And you remember I bought these a few years back for seeing the computer close up sort of
These
thing.
are my very special, very expensive pharmacy magnifiers, which I
Oh,
spent $11.
oh my God. Hello. I'm just making
Susan, you changed your hair color.
I've just done it. I just
You
thought,
just, okay, so is it your normal color, but it's just so much brighter?
yeah, because it washes
Really?
out so quickly.
It's so unbelievable because I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever seen it when it's fresh, 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 fresh,
yeah,
fresh.
yeah,
And to be honest, it looks more dark purple or it almost
yeah.
matches your top perfectly.
That's why I wore
Um,
it. I'll
when
tell
I've
you what
seen
else
it
it
in the
matches.
past, it's always been just a bit more of a lilac-y, kind of like pale
Yeah,
blue, purple blue kind of.
it washes out so quickly. Now let me just put my other glasses on.
Okay.
I won't be able to see you because it's long distance, but
Ah, nice. Very nice.
there we
Those are
go.
brand new?
No, no, but these are
Okay.
my distance ones. These are because I'm short-sighted, so these are for that. And you remember I bought these a few years back for seeing the computer close up sort of
These
thing.
are my very special, very expensive pharmacy magnifiers, which I
Oh,
spent $11.
oh my God. But they wouldn't work for me because I'm so short-sighted that it wouldn't match my
And I try
sight.
not to wear them as much as
Uh,
possible, and then I do this.
I do that when I'm trying to read something. I actually take my glasses off to read something on the phone, sort of thing.
I
Yeah.
was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about glasses because she had mentioned she took her 91-year-old father to the place and she said it took like 3 hours there. And I said, "Oh my God, they take that much time?" And she goes, "Well, I had to take him to the bathroom twice." But
Yeah.
I said to her, I said, "How much money did you spend on glasses?" She said they got him two pairs of glasses, the eye exam, the
Wow.
measurements, the this, the that. She says $800.
No.
I said, "You see?" I said, "Do you see? This is why I spend maybe 11.99."
Yeah. I actually get a free eye test because of my age. So I actually get my eye test on the National Health
That's
Service.
great. I mean, that's not included in our healthcare. We get lots of stuff that's free, but
Mm.
glasses is the extra stuff, okay? Like,
I have to pay for the glasses, but I
yeah.
don't pay for the eye test.
Yeah, I think the eye test and everything because it goes through like a different type of service or
System.
whatever.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why we need to pay for all that included. But I was
Mm.
just like, is this like 1700s or 1800s when nobody had glasses and like they just got invented? Why are they so expensive? What is wrong?
Yeah. Problem is, I mean, when I first started wearing glasses when I was 5 years old, they were glass lenses and they were really quite heavy. But we had what are commonly referred to as the National Health frames, sort of thing. They had pink for girls and blue for boys, and they were either square or round. I've probably got a pair somewhere. Um, but subsequently, they went to plastic lenses, which is what these are.
Yeah,
Glass lenses you can clean so well,
yes.
whereas plastic lenses are really more difficult to get clean.
That's these. I have a harder time, and actually I do this more often.
Yeah, I actually go and put them under the tap and put soap on them and wash them like
Yeah,
that.
I use the cleaner I have from a
Mm,
real glass, like from I had did buy real glasses from the from glass ones from
Optician. Yeah.
the
Optician.
optician. Thank you very much. Couldn't think of the word. It was driving me crazy. And I have done that like long time ago. I think when I first started to need some glasses. And then after I spent like $600 or $700, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, not so much, not so much.
Depends how much you need them because if I took these off, I cannot see my computer now.
I can tell
Yeah.
you, listen, you are blurry, but not
Okay.
overly blurry that I
Yeah.
can't see you. So I'm like, force my eyes, force my eyes. Because what I do find is the days where I wear my glasses more and I do more reading,
Mm,
then once I take my glasses off, forget it. I'm like, whatever. But then there are
mm,
some days where I wake up and if I haven't used them and I'm do more distance things first, because distance I'm still pretty good. So
yeah.
is if I'm using more distance, whatever, then I can actually, I can use, not read, but I can see things more closer
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
little better focus. So I don't
Mm.
use them as much. So I try not to use them as much as I can. I know it's stupid because it's not like they're going to get better, but
Well, I don't know. I have heard sort of if you do not, I mean, using glasses does stop your eyes working so much in a
right,
sense.
right.
But having worn glasses since I was 5 years old, I'm short-sighted, so I have got to wear them to drive. In fact, even when I took my driving tests, and one of the part of the test, or when I took it, you had to read a number plate from a certain distance. And I took two tests. I failed my first one. I took two tests, and both times I got the number plate wrong, but I then corrected it correctly. It's things like zero and Q or B and P or D and do you know what I mean? Ones that look sort of almost the same shape, and then you just go, oh, is it a P or is it a B? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of
Yeah, though that I get from doing these kind of
mm,
tests in the doctor's
yeah.
office or whatever. But
What they tend to do now, because I've got really thick lenses, no, not those. If you actually look at these,
yeah,
I got really thick lenses.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
can you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
And what they want to do is, oh, do you want us to make them thinner for you? Which means they're twice the price. Do you want us to put a special film over them to stop them steaming up, which will make them twice the price? Oh, do you want to get them to when it goes in, the sun comes out, they'll go dark lenses.
The
And I go,
tinting,
no,
yeah, whatever
no,
that's called.
all
Yeah.
I need is lenses. I don't
Yeah.
care because they go about, oh, people don't like these thick lenses, because that's the old bottle tops, isn't it? And I go, I don't care because you can see actually I'm really short-sighted because you can actually see my me. Can you see how my lens is? Can you see what I mean?
Yes, I know what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I know exactly what it is. So
It,
my
yeah,
girlfriend was saying about her father's glasses when she was telling me about the $800 price. She
yeah.
was saying, "Oh, it's because he needs the progressives." Okay. He
The
needs
very
them to
focal.
be
Yeah,
anti-glare. They pay for anti-glare.
yeah,
So they
no,
don't do this like me, like you see on my computer when
yeah.
okay.
I don't pay for any
I
of that
really
crap.
don't care about that either. I
No,
mean, big
no.
deal. And all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I get that. But yeah, my
Mm,
girlfriend, my another girlfriend of mine, she used to say, because she always had very thick lenses.
yeah.
And she used to say she's wearing Coke bottles, the
Hmm.
bottom of Coke
Bottles of
bottle.
Coke bottles. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Bottle tops,
yeah, yeah.
bottle bottoms, aren't they? Yeah,
Bottle bottoms,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
But
So
I don't care. Whereas a lot of people sort of get upset about having thick lenses, so that's why they want to pay for thinner ones. And I go, why would you? Why would I waste money on something like that? It's
I
crazy.
know I get it too. Like I wouldn't really care. I mean, maybe,
Mm.
again, some people too, because they can do the tinting, like, so that you can wear glasses inside and or outside,
Mm.
they'll go almost like sunglasses so that
Yeah,
they're
they'll
still
change color.
prescription. Because I
Yeah,
would imagine if your eyes are very bad and you can't see, at some point you can't wear regular sunglasses anymore either, right? Like I can't wear my sunglasses and read a book
right.
outside in the sun.
I haven't worn sunglasses. I don't think I've ever worn sunglasses because I've always worn glasses and I've never had lenses that change. So I'm
And
not
for
bothered.
me, the difference is I didn't have eye issues until I was about started to be about 43,
Oh, okay. So
44, which
yeah,
is they say is normal for when you start to lose your eyesight with age.
your eyesight lengthens because what's happened with me is though I'm already short-sighted, so I can't see distance, what happens is then start can't see close up so much,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
what your problem is.
yeah,
So my eyesight is sort of this type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It
But
shortens
I
in both
always had
directions.
20/20 vision, so I never had
Right.
any issues. So I never wore glasses. So I mean, but I wore sunglasses and I loved my sunglasses. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, because I still have distance, the only
Mm,
time I'm really wearing sunglasses anywhere is if I put them on and I'm on vacation and I'm walking and I'm looking in the distance. So,
yeah.
okay. But if I were to sit in a pool chair
Mm,
and now I put on the glasses and I'm like, let me read my phone because it's sunny. No, can't do that. I can't,
don't do
you
that.
know.
Mm, mm.
Interesting you say you took your driver's license test twice. I took my test twice too, funny enough. But
I,
I failed, or they failed me. They failed me on the parallel parking the first time.
oh,
And then the second time when I went to do it and I went to do the parallel parking, I just did like this, and the guy's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, that's it. So I'm like, okay, good. I didn't even have to fully do it. But I think that's probably the part they failed me on the first time is because they want to see how like, you know how you're supposed to
get
be
it.
like sort of be parallel to a car and
Yeah.
then you start to turn and then you should be at a certain place to
And then,
get in properly or whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, okay, thank God.
Well, I'll tell you what I did on my first driving test. I went up a one-way street the wrong way, and I didn't even know I'd done it. The annoying thing is he turned me right into a street and then left, and I went along that street, but that road then became one way from the other direction, and you had to turn left off of it. And even though it was in the centre of Swindon, they had actually moved the one way bit of it. Does that make sense? And so it's not one you would normally use because it's right by the railway station. So he did it on purpose, clearly.
Yeah, yeah, I
And I
know. I get
literally
that. Yeah.
saw a straight road and I went for it, straight road, here we go. And he went, that's one way. And yes. And it didn't occur to me that I'd actually already done a bit of the road the wrong way.
I love that. Yes. Yes. You want me to do it again?
Because the bottom bit, the end bit is one way from the other direction. And I knew that because it was right next to the pub. But they'd actually moved the one way further up,
Oh,
you
cheeky
see.
devils,
So
cheeky
I came
devils.
down thinking that I know it's one way there, but I didn't, it's just sort of, and when you think, oh, it's a bit of a straight road, relax. And you just keep going down and and I didn't even realize, as I said, I got back to the test centre and he went, you failed. And I went, okay, what? You went up a one-way street the wrong way. And I went, really? Where? What? So when I was practicing for my second driving test, and my dad was sat next to me, and we'd sort of arrive at somewhere, and he'd go turn left here. I go, no, that sign there says no left turn. Or do you know what I mean? He actually sent me deliberately to look at signs and things that I shouldn't do. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, I'm going to say the first time I failed was really not my fault because I was overly stressed. I was overly stressed because what would happen in those days is because my father had to be in the car with me to actually, because we used my father's car for my
Yeah,
test.
Yeah.
He drove it there and to the test center. And we got in like what these lanes where you wait for the guy to get in the car and then you
Yeah.
go. So my
Yeah.
father moved the car up for me. He got out of the car. I went around, I got in the car, turned the car off, waited for the guy to come. It was a little bit. The guy came in. I go to start the car and the car's dead.
No.
And I'm like, what? I was all stressed out. So
Oh
then my
no.
father had to come back and they had to push the car off to the side. Then somebody jumped the car or started the car. I
Oh,
don't know what happened.
oh
I
no.
had to
Oh
get
God, that
back in line. I
yeah.
didn't turn the car off.
Yeah.
Okay. I waited till I got in the thing. Then the guy got in again. And then I did my test and I failed.
Talking about a car being, you turn the ignition and there's nothing there. Um, when we were home educating, our team was going to Tokyo to compete in the first Lego League international competition. And what I agreed to do is Heidi and Tony and his two children, Simon was going with their family to Tokyo. We drove to the airport Tony drove to the airport in his car, and I was going to jump in the driver's seat and drive it home, which seemed logical. But I'd never driven this car before. In Heidi and Tony's usual fashion, they were running late. They were always late. So they literally jumped out of the car, they stopped in the 5 minute drop off, grabbed their luggage. Simon was with them, obviously. Off they went, rushing into the um, airport. And I got in the driver's seat, turned the key in, nothing. Right. And 5 minute waiting, they're going, come on, move on, move on. It won't start.
Yeah.
Ah! So I called the AA, the emergency services, to come out. And apparently, because it was a Leyland, British Leyland vehicle, you have to put your foot on the clutch to start it. I never knew that. I'd never had to do that.
Yeah, actually,
I,
I think all manual cars that I've ever driven, that's the case. You do have to put your foot on the clutch or whatever to do that. It's funny
well,
because I was just going to ask you that question. When you did your driving test, was it a manual car or an
it's
automatic?
usually manual in this country. Most people
Yeah.
do manual. My neighbour, actually, bless her, she did automatic because she's got um, physical problems. So
Yeah,
they
I did
needed an
automatic
automatic.
because in this country there's more automatic cars than I think manual cars, maybe even during my time then,
Mm.
you know,
No,
maybe 10 years older than I am. So are you 10 years older than I am? Maybe.
I'm
No.
68. How old are
Oh,
you?
you're only 8 years older than I am.
There you go.
There you go. So
But
in
yeah, no,
your
most,
time, it's just a
yeah,
little bit before that, probably, but also in Europe, more manual cars than there were automatic cars. And
yeah.
in this country, there's more automatic cars than there are manual cars. And I learned to drive manual after. I have to say, I think that is a blessing.
What, being able to drive a manual?
Yeah, I'm able to drive it, but what I say, think it's a blessing I learned that after, because I would think it's a lot for somebody. It doesn't matter whether you're young or older when you're doing the test. It's one thing to have to learn, oh, who's coming, where they're coming from,
Mm.
and then to be distracted with the whole, okay, am I in
Changing
gear?
gears.
Do I have to
Yeah,
shift down? Do I have
yeah,
to shift up? Am I going to blow the engine off?
yes. That is the one good thing I found when I was in America
Yeah,
and I was driving the car over there. And because they're obviously you're driving for me, I'm driving on the wrong side of the car on the wrong side of the road.
yeah,
Take out the gear change. It was you know what I mean? Because like you just said, trying to
yeah.
think going this way, that way, where's the traffic? And I've got to change gear. It would have really, you know,
Yeah, that's a big thing too, is
yeah,
driving on a different side of the road that is not your own. That
yeah.
is stressful too. You have to pay much more attention. As particularly you're going to turn and it's like, am I turning into the right
Right, lane.
lane? Or into the oncoming traffic. That's the particular thing that you have to pay
But
attention
the
to.
thing I still do, even when I go to France, because obviously they drive on, I was going to say the wrong side of the road, the other side of the road. They drive on the other side of the road. So I'm having to drive um, on the right-hand side of the road over there. And even if I'm, say, turning left and you know that the traffic's coming from in front of you, I still look behind me because it's that side of the road. You go, is there anything coming from that direction? Which there wouldn't be, but it's still ingrained in I gotta look that way.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely you
you
would.
know,
Absolutely you would. The funniest thing is I laugh because Noel always tells me I drive on the wrong side of the road.
yes, because they drive on the correct side as
And
well,
when
don't
we
they?
were on our trip and we were in a tour bus or whatever, and the tour,
Mm.
even tour buses, they're on this side, on a different side of the road, whatever. On your
Yeah.
side, we were in a country where it was on your side, and I can't remember which country it was. But the tour guide, she got in and she goes, "So, what side of the road are we driving on?"
Today.
And somebody said left, and she goes, wow. She goes, that's the first time anybody's ever said that. She goes, because they always say the wrong
Wrong
side.
side. Yes. And you
I'm
just
going
don't
to tell you
think,
though, if you are a car connoisseur or a car aficionado like Noel is, I
no.
mean, first of all, whenever we go on vacation or we go somewhere, he's on a plane and he has a long, he actually subscribes to a car magazine, right? So he brings his past or his current issue
Yes.
and he reads those. He loves that before he'll read a book. He'll read a book too, but he loves to have
Yeah.
his thing and he knows every
Fair
model.
enough.
And we'll be like in a bus driving in some country
Yeah.
and I'll go, "What's that?" And he'll go, "Oh, that's such and such." And I'm like, "Okay." And he'll go, "I think," and that's like an 89. Who knows all the years? Like
Yeah.
he knows like
Yeah.
when they changed every make and model of when they like changed,
Mm.
oh, but why is it different than the 87? Oh, because they changed the grill or they changed and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, the guy's got a brain.
'Cause I love Jaguars.
So do I. I love them too. I have to say, it's so funny because I was thinking as you were talking about that, the fact that Noel and I, because we drive on opposite sides of the road
Mm.
and opposite sides of the car, one of the very interesting things is whenever we approach a car, since we're
Oh,
both thinking we're the driver,
yeah, there.
we both go to the correct side
Oh,
of like, so in other words, if we're in my car,
yeah.
I'll go to the left, he'll go to the right
That's all
because
right.
he would think he's driving. And
Driving.
when we're in his car, he'll go to the right because he's driving, and I'll go to the left because I
Yeah.
think I'm driving.
Driving. Yeah. No, I get exactly what you're saying. I did that with my French friend in France, so, oh, yeah. That's quite
Except that the
bizarre.
problem is I get there and I get in his car and I go, oh, there's no steering wheel.
Steering wheel. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Mm,
speaking of cars, and you said you love Jaguars, I love
yeah,
Jaguar too. I have to say
yeah.
it's one of my favorite cars. But I also have to say, I always tell Noel, if I ever win the lottery, if I had like big lottery,
Mm,
and I need to change my car, and I do love my car, I have to be honest. I really do have to I love my car, and it is a good car.
yeah.
But if I'm gonna go, I'm not buying myself from, he could buy himself, all the, like McLarens and all the
Mm.
Ferraris and all the whatever Lamborghinis he wants. I would be really happy with an Aston Martin though.